Hi there, good morning. I'm just walking around out here barefoot on December 26th. Just kind of getting going. It's 9 a.m. But we're 22 degrees above average today. And this is the world I think we live in now, where we don't really have the consistent winter cycle. I'm 54 now. When I was a kid, we would get on Christmas, we would get weather in the 50s. It would be moist. Now, today, this year, 2025, this is South by Southwest weather. This is perfect spring weather. It's a beautiful day. You want to be outside walking around. The problem is, it's about 3 months early, and it does fit the climate science paradigm if you're one of those people who thinks that's all a bunch of nonsense. Read again. The main problem with a lot of climate science I saw is that it wasn't clear enough about how quickly things would probably spin into the situation that we now find ourselves in, which is dysregulation of the normal cooling cycle of the planet, which includes, of course, a lot of moisture. That's part of how cool is transferred energetically and biospherically through the giant Earth living system, the biosphere Earth. That's been knocked out of whack. It's been knocked out of whack because of the emissions. It's been knocked out of whack because of the loss of vegetative infrastructure, particularly old growth wilderness on land and in the ocean and in our freshwater ecosystems. So that would kind of be everywhere, and that's true. We're in what the conservation community would call the worst biodiversity crisis in the history of the planet, where something like 70 to 90% of biodiversity is threatened in the next century because of human expansion, because of human habitat destruction. Anyway, that can all be reversed real quickly, and through this strategic hydration stuff. I didn't set out to say something as audacious and simple as that, but I've seen it already. I've been doing this. This is the beginning of year 5, 2026. Me doing this stuff a lot and full-time for the last 2 years. And so hopefully you're going to see, I'm going to be able to take on some projects this year that help demonstrate that watering trees in forest groves that are connected to larger forest systems can move moist, cool air over a landscape, can get us out of drought, can eliminate fire danger pretty immediately, and can restore what we need to restore to our landscapes in terms of weather conditions and moisture circulation conditions, so that we get back to a place of regulated climate, normalcy, something that makes sense to the other life that lives on our landscapes. We all need moisture every day, and we're sort of, it's like the roller coaster ride where we're clicking up, for a heavier downward spiral. We've already seen these horrifically large and horrifically fast wildfires starting in about 2020 in California, and then 2021, I believe it was, or 3, somewhere in there, in Canada, and 2021 or 2 in Australia and the Amazon wetlands. We're seeing systems that shouldn't burn like they're burning and burn as fast as they're burning go. And then we're seeing things like strategic watering come in for the last 4 consecutive years and eliminate that problem again and again, because the system of the landscape has so many different attenuated ways to collect and move moisture that once you start to restore that function in an optimal way to the biggest players on the field, the big trees on the landscape, they can move moisture back in micro scale ways across the system that creates macro scale effects that are the same as when you're super dehydrated, you drink in a small amount of water and your whole body's starting to come back into normal function effect. That's my observation based on something like 125 projects now, and hundreds of waterings, and gobs of stories, and gobs of good news. So anyway, thanks for watching this, such as I am after Christmas, and wishing you a very good end of 2025 and a very happy beginning to 2026. Let's water trees and forests. Let's move forward together as a humanity on Earth. Thank you.